Hi, thank you for joining me. You're greatly appreciated. Please hit that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Totally free for you guys and greatly appreciated by me. I want to say thank you all again for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Alrighty. Bear with me, my throat is a little raspy today. It's been like that for the past couple of days. Okay, so this video is about judgment, you guys. Judgment is coming through. The other day I did a video about judging other people. I know it was a video or two back, something like that. I did a video on about like judging people, and I gave you some scripture about it. And it's judgment time. So God's doing a lot right now. Some people are getting breakthroughs. Some people are getting blessings. Some people are getting judgment, whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to put this video out because I'm called to, but two, because there's a couple things I really want to express in it as well. Like, one thing is to be careful what you guys are saying and wishing upon people, okay? Please be careful with what you are saying and wishing upon people. What you put out there comes back to you. And sometimes, you know, you've been a good person and things come back to you, and it's just kind of how it goes. It's for your testimony. Sometimes it's for your lessons. God has many reasons behind it. You know what I'm saying? But just be careful with what you're saying and wishing on others right now, especially right now. So I want to read the couple verses that I got because this will explain where we're coming from. I did a shorts on this one, and it's Romans 11, chapter 11, verse 18. Boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. And then I have Romans 12, 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. So again, let me read that again, sorry. Romans chapter 12, verse 19, KJV. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. And then there's like John 4, chapter 4. Ye are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So this is John chapter 4. Sorry, I didn't get sleep last night. Sorry. John chapter 4, verse 21 and 22. Ye are of God, little children, and ye have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Okay. And I think that was it. Yes. Okay, no, it wasn't. I knew there was another one. And this one's very important, okay? Please pay attention to this, and I'll explain a little bit more as we go along, okay? Proverbs 25, 21 through 22. Proverbs 25, 21 through 22, KJV. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. Sorry, my handwriting was bad because I was tired when I was writing these two. Yeah. So, okay. And I had my little notes. God is in control, you guys. We are not in control. When we try to take control of matters or handle situations or circumstances or get vengeance for ourselves, we get ourselves in a lot more trouble. You know what I mean? And We just need to let him be, and God is in control. Let God handle it, okay? God is fighting your battles. Let God fight your battles, okay? He is the judge. Let him judge. And then God's divine timing. Everything's going to be in his divine timing, okay? Everything is in God's divine timing. And it could be years for some people. It could be faster, sooner than others, but it's in God's divine timing. And pray for your enemies. And I've got some things to tell you about that. And I know it's not easy, but pray for your enemies. Please pray for your enemies. This is something I was told to do quite some time back. Okay, so again, remember, God is in control. We are not in control. Vengeance is of the Lord. It's in God's divine timing. He picks and chooses and judges who gets what done to who. Now, you sitting and waiting and hoping and seeing that someone's going to get repaid for what they've done to you, all you're doing is hurting yourself. All you're doing is prolonging healing. All you're doing is wishing bad things upon someone, and you're not supposed to be doing that, right? So I know it's easier said than done. I've been there. But you can do it. I did it. So I was told a while back to pray for my enemies. There were some people who had done me dirty in my family, and some other people who shouldn't even cared what I was doing or what was going on or anything, right? People had harassed me for a long time. And I was told to pray for my enemies, right? And I was like, oh my goodness. I got to pray for these people who have done me dirty, who have hurt me, who have lied on me, who have stole from me, all this stuff, right? And, I did. I had to start praying for them. So I would say, like, a big part of this, it helps you to, like, you've got to forgive. You've got to start healing. You got to let go of that negativity, because that's hindering you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's hindering you. So like, you think that you're wanting bad and thinking these bad thoughts and wanting revenge and all this stuff, or something to happen to these people who have done you wrong. But like, you're hurting and holding yourself back in the meantime. You're like festering all this like negative energy and anger and depression and all this stuff inside of you. So you really got to work on like healing and forgiving and letting all that negativity go. You know what I'm saying? You got to let all that negativity go. I tried to write some notes. See how messy my handwriting was, because I was trying to write them so fast and I was tired. Anyways, so I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me. And I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I'm going to give the short and sweet. Okay. And this isn't even the main person that like I wanted justice from, you know what I'm saying, in a sense. So I was married. I don't know if you guys have watched my old videos, but I was married. I was with my husband for 19 years. I was only married for about 7 legally out of those. He had wanted to get married in the beginning. I didn't want to, because I don't believe in divorce. So I was like, I don't want to rush into anything or get married right away or have kids right away, because I already had a child. And he would be living in the household and my child's father wouldn't, right? And so I didn't want like that unfairness stuff going on, because sometimes that happens. And I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But, so I was like, no, I'm not going to put my kid through that. And he had a child, but she didn't live where we were. And so he traveled to visit her, etc. So it would have been my child and his child, my child and our child together if he lived in the house. And I just didn't want him like favoring our child together over mine. So we didn't have a kid. Anyways, so later on down the line, he kept saying, let's get married, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we've been together for a long time. By then we have been together for a long time. And I was like, let's get married. So we got married. And then he had some things that came up. He got ill and couldn't work and stuff. So I went, because I was staying at home, and I would work like self-employed jobs and sometimes part-time here and there throughout the relationship and years. I was basically staying at home and doing that on and off. So then I was like, well, we had a house, we had car payments, we had bills, we got to eat and all this stuff. He had insurance premiums and co-pays, and his mom did kick in and help with some insurance premiums, but that came like later. And we just had a lot of bills, you know. So I was like, well, I'm going to go get a job. I ended up going and getting this government job. He didn't seem happy about it. He was like saying that I wasn't going to the appointments with him. And I was working like 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. And I was like, well, I would love to go with you, but I have one day off, and it's usually like a Sunday or some off day, and it wasn't always on this appointment. I'm like, and I'm tired too. I'm supporting you by paying the bills. I'm buying, you know, the healthy foods you need for this situation and vitamins. I'm helping with that copay and keeping the bills paid and roof over our head. I had gone with him to some appointments initially, and then, you know, once I started working too much, I was just, you know, I didn't have time to do anything else really. And I just noticed that over time he started to change. I know he was upset about what he was going through, the illness he was, but the doctors had told him that he could, you know, overcome it and be in remission from it and stuff like that. And so I just noticed a change in him over time once I got that job and stuff. And I'm like, you would think he'd be like, I got this down woman who's going to like go to work, ride or die for me, and is like here for me. I'm supporting him and I'm feeding him. I'm loving him. I'm getting him all the extra things that I'm looking up information regarding to help him, you know, heal and recover the best I could as well, besides what he was already doing through the doctors, and go in remission. So eventually he did get better, you know, over time and with the procedures that were being done. And he had another issue due to it, okay? And in the meantime, I'm thinking I'm being a good wife. I'm faithful, of course. You're supposed to be. I'm faithful, of course, and all these other things. And I'm killing myself at work so that, you know, we can have a roof over our head and stuff like that. So eventually he went back to work, and I just noticed a change in him. And then so later, trying to make a long story short, later I caught him doing a lot of things like lying all the time, cheating, stealing. And I'm like, okay, I know we're husband and wife, but he wasn't like telling me he was taking this money. And I had like some emergency money that I had put and told him, hey, this is just for emergencies. Like, you know, if something really bad comes up, this is where, you know, it's in this place or in this account or etc. You know what I'm saying? And over time, that money just like was getting depleted. And before I knew it was gone. And it was a lot of money. And so, that thing hit, and like, you know, the thing we can't talk about. And he was going places, and I'm like, there's nowhere to go. Where are you going? Like, you know, oh, I'm going to my friend's house. And I'm like, well, I'm not comfortable with this, like being all out and about right now, because like this is in the beginning stages of it too. Like this is going on. And if we're doing unnecessary being in and out, you know, we don't want to bring anything back to anyone. And he was like adamant about going. I was like, okay. And so, anyways, eventually I caught him cheating and all this stuff, right? And so, of course, I was hurt from that because I had been there for him through a lot of things, as you're supposed to be. But I just thought, wow, how could you do that to someone? If you wanted to leave, like, I'm not the type to say, like, you have to be with me. And the crazy thing is I never wanted to get married because I don't believe in divorce. Like, so I thought it'd be better, hey, if I don't get married. Not that what I was doing was right either. We know that, right? Fornicating is not right either. But I'm big on, I didn't want to get a divorce. Anyways, so I was like, that's so crazy. Like, why, you know, go through all that? I finally marry you, and then you act crazy and do these things later after I've done all this for you, been there for you, and supported you and all this stuff, right? So anyways, of course I was hurt from it. But like I asked him, when I caught him doing some stuff, I was like, okay, we're going to separate. We're going to separate the bills. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, you take what's yours. I'm going to take with mine. And, you know, we left on, you know, we didn't hate each other when it was over. Didn't hate each other. Of course, I was hurt, but we didn't hate each other. So I even helped him get a place, helped him move. He used my truck to move. And helped him move and everything into his place. I got him in a nice place. We helped him get a nice place. You know, I told him you don't have to pay any bills in the house we're living in. You know, save that money, and then so you can use that money to put down where you're going to go, where you want to go. So we found him a place. It was a nice place. He had the money to put down. He moved in, etc. Right? And so I was hurt, but I was also healing and forgiving him from, what had happened. And I had already been told to pray for my enemies, and I had already prayed for him. But I really think of him as an enemy because, like, I know hurt people hurt, and he had gone through a lot of his stuff to lead him there. And for whatever reason, I think he thought I was cheating when I was working. His friends were putting a lot of stuff in his ears, like, oh, she can't be working all that time. Like, I was working, y'all, because I be about my money, and I will go and get mine. Like, I am not a woman who wants to, like, sit back and be like, asking a man, where's the money? Where's the money? I need this. Give me this. If I want something, like, I'll go get it. You know what I'm saying? And he even said that was one thing that he always, like, loved and admired about me. Like, if I want something, I will go and get it. Like, I will work for mine. I'm not expecting a man just to give me, or take care of me. Of course, there are men who, are the providers, and that's fine. Each their own. Everything works for everyone. And he was the provider for a long time. He really was. But I had to go to work at that time due to the circumstances, right? And so I had to pray for him, and I had to forgive, and I was working on healing and all that stuff. And then, like, it was a way long later, I had gotten some mail for him, like close to a year and a half to 2 years after we divorced and separated and all that, give or take. And I got some mail for him coming. I'm like, why am I getting his mail? We did a change of address, and, why is his mail coming here all of a sudden after like almost 2 years or whatnot? And I called him because I had him blocked. I had blocked him and all this stuff, right? I had told him goodbye and, in a past conversation, because he was still wanting to be friends and like hang out. And I'm like, no. And I guess that works for some couples. That's fine. Especially if you have kids. Like, I totally get that. You want to be able to co-parent and get along. But I was like, no, you did some stuff and I don't need friends like you. You know what I'm saying? So we're good, but nothing against you. Anyways, so I had called him and to let him know I had got some mail for him. And since I had him on the phone, I had been told before to like ask for forgiveness to the people that I may have hurt. And so I asked, he was one of them. So since I had him on the phone, I was like, well, I'm sorry. I asked for, please forgive me if I had done anything in the marriage that may have hurt you. And I'm sorry for what I have done wrong in our marriage. None of us are perfect. To hurt you. And he was like, no, it wasn't you, it's me. And then he started telling me all these things, you guys, all these crazy, crazy things that have started happening to him, like crazy stuff, you guys. My husband's even a little bit older than I am. And, I ain't young. I'm not in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s, people. And my husband's older than I am by like 3 years. And so he started telling me all these things that have gone on in his life, like crazy stuff, like his car had gotten stolen. Some girls had stole his car. He had to put it on like Facebook for people to find it, help him find it. He reported to the police too, but people on Facebook found it. And he had to put it on there to like make the girls scared. He didn't have his car for like a month. And then they like dumped it somewhere in like a whole nother city that was further away. And he had to find it, or the police may have found it. But anyways, his car got stolen. He didn't have his car for a month. He had been jumped. He had been robbed. He had been in fights. He was getting in bar fights. He had been in a couple of bar fights. He had been stabbed, you guys. And like me and my husband were like everyday normal people. We would go on trips. We would just go to like football games, go to the bar and watch games. We would do stuff, but like we didn't have this life. Like I never saw, like I would never see this coming for him. Because he wasn't not like, no, he just wasn't like that. Like, and when he started telling me all this stuff, like some girls got him in the car and beat him up with a brick. And my husband is like, his face is like everything. He works out. He's like 6'3". He was like my ex-husband. He's like 6'3" and he was like 230 pounds. Like he liked himself, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? And he was a very good looking man. I'm not saying he's not now. He is a very good looking man. And he was big on his face. I mean, I used to tease him because he used to like use women products, not even mine, Well, he probably was using mine. I probably didn't know. But he would buy certain products for his skin, like so it wouldn't age and stuff. And they would be women's. And I would tease him about it, like just jokingly. But I was like, well, don't they have that stuff for men? Can't you buy the men's version? No, I'm just teasing. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But I would tease him about it. And I mean, he was serious about his looks. And one thing that when I caught him, I knew he started cheating. We could talk about those signs, but I'm going to give a couple. Is he started using mouthwash. I've been with him for years. He ain't never used no mouthwash. And then he started using cologne too. And I was like, what? You ain't used cologne in years. And like I would always try to get him to take better care of his dental hygiene. Because he would brush his teeth. Don't get me wrong. I ain't with no dirty man. He would shower, all that good stuff. But like he didn't do extras like floss and mouthwash and all that extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing mouthwash and putting on cologne. I thought, okay, we gotcha. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say is like when you're waiting for someone's downfall, one, you're also hurting yourself. You're bringing that negativity. You're harboring it in you. And you're hurting yourself. Two, a lot of times, and this is for real, you guys, a lot of times God's not going to let you see his judgment or vengeance or justice on those people till you heal. You will not hear about it until you heal, forgive, and, pray for these people. And I'm telling you, I was told to do those things, and I did it. And once I did it, and once I had healed from it, then I started hearing about all this stuff that had happened to him. And I didn't wish that on him at all. Because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I had already forgiven him. I know his history, so I know why he's hurt and some things have happened to him and why he moved the way he did later. And his friends were in his ear saying that I was cheating. And we had a very good life. And his friends had wives that cheated on them and stuff like that. So they were putting all this in their ear. And then their lives, some of those guys were harboring stuff from their relationships. And their lives weren't the best after, financially, etc., whatever it may be. And so my ex-husband, sorry, when you're married a long time, was, absorbing all that and believing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, I was working. Like, why didn't you come at me? And I remember one time he did say like, oh, I think you're cheating. I'm like, no, I'm not cheating. Like, do you want to come to my job? You can see me working. Like, I am there working, homie, to pay our bills, to build a better future so we can have a good life and this and that. And, but they say sometimes when they accuse you, they're doing it, But he had those people in his ears and he believed them, and it led to the downfall of our marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just working. But I just wanted to say that, like, don't wish bad. Don't be waiting. Don't waste your time waiting to see the justice of these people or justice on these people in the situation in your life, or vengeance, or, them receiving their karma, whatever you want to call it. Like, don't waste your time. You're hurting yourself. You're hindering. You might even be delaying it. Because I'm telling you, as soon as I healed from all of that, and I had gotten over it and I had prayed for him and stuff like that. And then later, and the only reason why I wouldn't even known any of this, because I wasn't planning on calling him. I had blocked him. But I was getting his mail and I wanted to like get him his mails and his bills and stuff. And so, yeah, that's when he had told me all the stuff that was going on. And I wasn't even trying to find out what was going on in his life. I didn't care. It's his life, now. I wish the best for him. You know what I mean? I definitely hope he doesn't continue on this path and stuff. And then after that, I had started to send him some mail, pastors, preachers stuff to help encourage, and hopefully he can start changing his life for the better. I had just sent him a few, and after that, it's up to him to do the work, right? But I sent him a few videos and stuff that I thought would help him, guide him, and get him on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Because, you don't want no one to go through those things. And that's just the half of the stuff that he was telling me. Like, I couldn't even, it was too much to grasp. And I literally, after that, even prayed for him again, because I'm like, he's not a bad person. He has a good heart. He just makes bad choices. He has a good heart. He just made bad choices. So again, I just want to say that if Oh, and another example, like in the Bible, Joseph, was it Joseph? Yeah. His family did all that to him and then later needed him, right? Because they were hungry, right? And so then later they needed his help. Like, just don't, God doesn't want us to be mean. Like, we don't fight evil with evil. We don't. We fight evil with good. You know what I'm saying? We still are expected to be good. And I know it's easier than said than done. I know it's easier said than done, but once you start forgiving and healing and letting all that go, letting it all go, it does get easier. It really does. I have done it, you guys. I have done it. And not just on his situation. Okay? And so I was led to pray for my enemies. And I did, all of them, not just him, all of them. And I did. And I just want to go over this verse one more time, okay? And it's Proverbs chapter 25, verse 21 through 22. If thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire, I think it might be upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. Because I was out of it when I had to write these. Anyways, please, just please, try to heal, try to forgive, try to let all the negativity go the best you can. Because once you get there, it is easy, I promise. And then you honestly feel bad for those people. Because like I said, if you're holding on to it, sometimes one, you're not able to move on to it. You're hindering your life. You're harboring negativity in your life. Who wants that? Who wants that? You know, you could be doing these things to yourself. And then two, God might be, everything's in his divine timing, but he ain't going to reveal it to you until you've healed from it. Because he doesn't want you to be boasting on those people yay, they got theirs. You know what I mean? This happened to them, that happened to them. Look at them now. That's not how his way is. He wants you to feel for them by that time comes. And let me tell you, I felt for him. I felt so bad that he was going through those things. I mean, I literally sent him other male pastors and preachers and, stuff that he could start researching and watching and doing to help him change his life. So just remember that, it's better to heal. The sooner you heal, the better. It's better to forgive. The sooner you forgive, the better. It's better to let go. The sooner you let go, the better. And God does not want us sitting and waiting and watching when he is going to give us justice or vengeance on our enemies. He wants us to fight bad with good. He wants us to fight evil with good. He wants us to shine our lights through the darkness. Okay, and it's judgment time, you guys. Some people are getting judgment. We're getting judgment, good or bad. Some of us that have been doing good, good's going to be coming back to us. You know what I'm saying? It's some people's time. And again, this message is not for everyone. All messages are not for everyone. But those have been doing good, it's your time. God's going to reward you, as it says, and the Lord shall reward thee. You're about to get rewarded, you guys. You know what I mean? For letting him, trusting in him and letting him fight your battles, for letting him be in control. God is in control, for letting him be the judge. And then those that have put out bad and done bad, some of them are getting it, not all, because again, it's in God's divine timing. It's in God's control, but some are. So it's judgment time for a lot of people. So I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate you all. I hope you all are having a good and blessed day. And get out in that nature and in that sunshine and use some sunblock, please, if you do, no matter what your pigmentation color is. Please use some sunblock and take care of your skin. Skin cancer, don't know. It's not biased. You know what I'm saying? Skin cancer is not for just certain ethnic colors, What was I trying to say? You know what I mean. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. Please use your sunblock, you guys. Please use your sunblock. if you're out in the sun, to protect your skin, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. You're so greatly appreciated. Prayers and blessings to all. Bye.